live.
Hi, everybody. This is Gene, and tonight I've got Joe and Ryan with me. Say hi,
Yeehaw.
guys.
Hey, guys.
Don't sound too excited, Joe. All right, so we're going to go through these lists and see what we've got for Buckeye 2019.
Here we go.
All right. We're going to start with Beast Herds. First one we have is Duncan.
This is by last name, right, Ryan?
What?
I think these are last names.
By last names, yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's how they were ordered on the official list.
Yeah.
And you guys don't know, just for anybody watching, all the Buckeye lists were put out in single document PDF Army Builder formats, and it was just a pain to read. So I typed all these up by hand, but that also means that I could have missed. I definitely have missed some units. There also have been a couple where I've gotten the wrong number or I've missed an item or something like that. So obviously, if you're going to Buckeye, check the real list for your opponent to make sure that I didn't screw up.
Correct. And if we make fun of your list because it looks like hell, it might be because we missed a unit.
Yeah.
No promises, though.
All right. So Duncan's Beast Herd.
So he's
Lord,
got
what's his armor save? What's his
yeah.
saves?
2 up. 2 up.
Heavy armor,
4,
shield.
3, 2, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or 3 up, sorry.
And the Pillager's icon does?
It's going to let the 3 Razor Husk Vanguard.
Correct.
Oh, okay. And Wild Form?
Wild Form is he can either take +1 strength or +1 toughness in each round of combat.
Okay. Soothsayer, Rock, Talisman, Trickster's Cunning. Trickster's Cunning means reroll the hits against him?
Reroll a wound.
Yeah, a wound, yeah.
Okay.
Which is a little disappointing that he didn't take
Shamanism.
Because then you can be 5 up rerolling the wound.
Yep.
And Shamanism is just a better lore, hands down, full stop, than Druidism.
Especially to do what he's wanting.
He doesn't have monsters.
Well, and he's going to be ambushing everything.
Right.
So, yeah, except for the 1 unit, the triple. Well, yeah.
But you're right about healing stuff. He doesn't have monsters to heal, does he?
No. Like, you want to just be up on somebody and forcing through Awaken the Beast and Battle Focus and all this other fun stuff.
And Ancestral Carvings?
It gives him like 2 extra strength 5 attacks.
Okay. That's actually not bad. All right. So the Beast Chieftain, Soothsayer. All right, so here we go. So what has he got? 2 units of 23 Wild Horns ambushing, 2 units of Longhorns ambushing. So he's going to start on the board with 28 Longhorns and 3 Razor Tusks and his characters.
And all the characters.
And all the characters. And the Longhorn unit that triple marches. And the Razor Tusk Vanguard.
So
What's
he's
up?
So he's going to Vanguard the Razor Husk and probably chaff you. Hunting Call lets him come in turn 1, right?
If he goes second, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so he's probably going to drop for second. It depends on the match, but yeah, he may drop for second, Vanguard the Razor Tusk, you go, and then everything comes on all around you.
Right.
This list is also 250 points short as transcribed here. So
then I'm probably missing.
There's something else. It's not a Gortak, but you're missing something.
I got the list right here. Hold on.
Probably a Razor Tusk Chariot would be my bet. At least that's what I would do.
Beast
on one of the characters? No, okay, it has to be on its own.
A single.
So
that's a good Vanguard.
Yeah, but looking at this list, I mean, nothing really hits hard on this, does it?
I actually like the Longhorns with halberds instead of great weapons, just because I think their agility's high enough that you want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that.
But yeah, he did. Yeah, he can give him great weapons.
There's the second Soothsayer Apprentice with Ancestral Carvings and Evocation.
Oh.
And the Dragon Staff.
Well, that's disappointing.
So he's got a Master and a Shamanism Soothsayer and an Evocation Soothsayer?
Yep.
Oof, okay. All right.
The list had so much promise to start with, but just taking Shamanism over Druidism maybe taking a couple chariots since you're taking the pillager icon anyway would make this list much better.
Right.
Or
I
giving
just
those
don't.
characters some ambush.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
he fights well.
no.
I mean, the soothsayers pump out some decent damage, but because you get 4 relatively fighty characters. It does what his Saurian list did, which is he crams a whole bunch of characters into one unit.
Okay.
But I agree. I think the points could probably be better spent elsewhere.
Now, he does not have to ambush those, so based on his opponent, he can choose, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm not enamored with that list. Now watch it, and I'll play him in game 2, and he'll blow me out. So,
Well,
right.
the thing is just that, Longhorns are good, but there are things that can fight Longhorns. So, if you have a big block of, Gene for you Savage Orcs, the Longhorns come on and you just turn around and fight them.
Right, and most of them are dead before they go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have great weapons, not halberds.
Yep.
He also does not have what's it called? The totems,
Correct.
which
And
makes Longhorns much better with their.
Now, a unit of toughness 7 Longhorns would be difficult to deal with.
Yeah,
I
well,
also
that's the
worry
problem with
about-
Druidism. You sit on 1 or 2 spells, and that's it.
Well, and also the range of Druidism is a lot more problematic. It's not a long range lore. It depends on the terrain on the board.
All right. That's Duncan. Gurin.
We like where your head's at, Duncan, but I think it needs some work.
Oh, this one. 3 units of Minotaurs. Oh.
Oh, and 6 chariots in
2
core.
units of 3 chariots. And 2
some
ambushing
ambushers.
wild horns. Oh. And
But again, why would you
Mr.
take
Gurin.
Druidism over Shamanism? Druidism is so much worse.
Mr. Gurin has been talking to Jeremy Schweitzer, who believes that 30 Minotaurs is the greatest list you can write.
Well, this one only has 20, so
Yeah.
20? Oh, if you count the chieftain. Yep.
I do like the raiding chariots in core, especially with the ambush. I like the Minotaurs. It's probably one of those lists that will do well for a couple rounds until he runs into somebody who can really can deal with it.
Right.
And then I think it's one of those lists that could get 2 big wins and a big loss day one.
Yeah, especially since he took a beast lord, put him on a chariot, and the best part of the chariot's increasing his armor save, and just slapped affliction on him instead of going for like the 2-up rerollable, the 2-up 5-up.
Affliction's the toughness where he gets no armor save.
Correct. So he's tough 6, but doesn't have an armor, and the best part of that chariot's increasing your armor.
Good point. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Rain. This guy doesn't even have Dark Rain, but he gets no one to shoot at on the first turn. Okay.
He does. His Dark Rain.
The top one.
Oh yeah.
But again, there's no one to shoot at on the first turn, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. The Minotaurs are scary, but they've got paired weapons, so they're only strength 5.
Yeah. The Minotaurs are scary. If people don't know what they do, you'll run some people over, but
Right. All right. Moving on. Hamilton.
and then another guy who took Trickster's Cunning and not Shamanism.
Correct.
That's what I said. You're behind there, Caps. You're 2 minutes
Sorry
late. You guys pick it up.
Next guy, Minotaur Warlord. Affliction.
Blessed inscription.
So
listen, that Warlord is
another Druidism guy, but he doesn't have the.
But he's got a Doom Bowl to keep alive.
He also has a greater Totem Bearer, so that helps a little bit.
And he did not take the Trickster's Cunning on his guy.
He's also you want to. It's I keep hollering about Shamanism over Druidism, but when you're running the Doom Bowl, who's going to be your heavy hitter, and then you're running 11 Centaurs with Blackwing Totem, you really need Druidism to keep those guys alive. So you have a better chance of spreading the field with the Soothsayer and keeping those Centaurs going. I don't think this is his full list either. This looks light, so maybe scroll down a bit.
Yeah, there's more on the next page.
Yeah.
The one disappointment I have in the list is I think he would benefit from a Centaur character to put in that Centaur unit.
Yes.
Because then it could switch. Let me make sure I didn't miss something.
Because you can go from light troops to really hard
Yeah,
hitters.
there's no Centaur character there, which I think is disappointing because he that unit could have been twice as good. I don't mind the list. I think it's honestly a solid Beast Turds list, and it but
Yeah, I'd watch out for that Minotaur Warlord lining up in the Mongrel herd with spears because he adds a whole lot of punch to him. Also,
Right.
demon players are going to cry in a corner against that Doom Bull with divine attacks, rolling to wound, and only being
High
hit on
dominance.
sixes. So
That's a good point.
then
dominance
watch
is a
the Razor
great.
Tusk chariots slinging those centaurs and minnows around Blackwing Totem. So
Yeah, the Eye of Dominance is a great meta play right now.
Exactly.
yes,
Okay, so it's a solid list.
yes.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good list. He has a tough round one matchup though. He's playing Alex Schmidt's Warriors.
Oh, and his minnows only have hand weapon shield.
Which
Okay,
isn't,
because it makes the Warriors hit them on fours.
Ah,
So
that's
it's
a good
not
point.
terrible.
and I don't think Alex has a bunch of paired weapons.
No.
But it's also a rough match because Alex has the Lord with the Burning Portent, which will blend minnow units.
And the Warlord. Yeah.
All right, let's go
So-
to Lamb.
I like it.
Interesting last name for a Beastman player.
This one is playing your son.
Is he?
I think so.
Okay. Which one?
Not the adopted one. No.
Oh, okay.
No. The disappointing one.
It's disappointing. Oh, okay. Minotaur Warlord. I guess there's Potion of Swiftness. Ooh, Potion of Swiftness.
It makes him scarier, but again, like Eye Dominance is just a better item.
Yeah, it's more than 10 points, though.
Gene, see if you can tell me what is missing from this list.
Soothsayer. He doesn't have a BSB.
Yep.
Is that right?
I'm double checking, but that is right.
It can't be right.
Double checking.
No.
It is correct.
With your
Oh.
other thing, and he doesn't have the other thing to give you the hatred or whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's gutsy with running double Gortox with frenzy checks too. They're pretty easy to bait.
But yeah, you need the BSB not just for the rerolling armor. I mean, the rerolling the break tests, but for the rerolling the Primal Fury stuff.
Literally what I just said. Well done.
We don't
Yeah. So he gets a lot of stuff in the list because of what he's doing. He has, 2 Gore attacks, 2 Razor Chariots, 2 Raiding Chariots, a bunch of Razor Tusks in a herd. He has a good list. The problem is those Gore attacks can go wandering off. Beast Herds are not known for their leadership. It's
right.
I worry that's going to burn him. I mean,
Minotaur Warlord's 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Discipline. Okay. It does have a binding scroll.
The really interesting thing about this matchup is he is playing an ogre player who has 2 rocks and maybe vanguarding his general and BSB out of leadership range as well.
I would have liked to see the Beastman item that gives you wounds back on this thing, on that Warlord.
That's why it's Druidism.
No, but if Twin Hungers and that, you're gaining 2 wounds a turn. Right?
It's true. But, Blessed Inscription is a really solid play.
They are. All right.
Strength looks divine. Yeah, I mean, I would have dropped the Giant for a BSB, but the Giant, the Razor Tusk, big unit, the little pigs, the chariots are all going to Vanguard.
Yeah. And this guy, I believe, is a Canadian ETC player.
Okay.
So
So he's a good player.
the BSB may be, he may, what he may have decided is with all that vanguarding, nothing's in range to the BSB anyway. So
Okay.
why pay for it? I don't know that I
Maybe.
agree with that decision, but
Okay.
Especially since pigs can get far away from the general, and they're only leadership 6,
Right. Oof.
and they take fear.
Everything takes terror checks in here except for the Gore-Tex, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough. All right. All right. BSB known. All right. Meyer. Eye dominance.
Yep. Greater totem bear.
this seems to be the popular build for the Mino is paired weapons, blessed conscriptions, Agger's affliction.
Yep. And then the Eye of Dominance or something else.
Mm-hmm.
Eye of Dominance is so good.
I like the centaurs. I like the big units. I never ran them with lances. I always just felt like paired weapons gave me just a little bit extra. Again, no centaur character, so it kind of limits what you can do with the centaurs.
Right.
That's a lot of minotaurs in a unit.
It is a big unit.
916 points. That's kind of fragile, and suffers from frenzy. So that's gutsy, especially if he pops that warlord in there.
What is a Montreux?
Mongrel.
Montreux Williams, the talk show host.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just checking.
I just corrected on the real document.
Okay. Like it's going to matter at this point. All right. 10 Minotaurs can be scary, though. If he can keep them from running off to the side.
Yeah.
It's not a bad list. It's very similar to the Neil Hamilton's Beaster list. Honestly,
Mhm.
very similar.
Mhm.
Almost. I mean, very very similar. He just has more Minotaurs and he has fewer chariots.
Yep.
No Gore-Tex. All right. All right. Roe? Is that probably Rob?
No, it's Roe.
Okay.
It's Rob's twin brother.
Thanks. Hunting call, beast axe, light armor. Beast chieftain as his general, as leadership 8? Right?
Probably to get hunting call on him.
Okay.
And his warlord can Minotaur warlord can kind of run around and do whatever he wants.
That is an interesting. Yeah, I mean, I
He's
guess
only got one spell.
and
he's got 2 totems.
He's got a bound item too, the Route of Battle.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, but still 4 totems is it.
4
Which,
totems.
yeah, his gnarled hide, black wing, rod of battle, and then 1 shamanism spell.
Yeah, 4 spells, not 4 totems.
And
That's 4 spells.
no channeling.
No
Yeah.
channeling. I don't like Rite of Battle on Beastman because with the reroll, it's actually worse for you to hit better. Like I think the math is if you hit on 4s with a rerolled battle focus, you should get 1 extra dice over your number of attack die.
Oh, you mean with the battle focus? Yeah.
For Minotaurs.
For Minotaurs, but he doesn't have. Oh, he's got 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for the other unit, it's good for every other.
It's all about the Minotaurs, Gene.
Okay.
And again, the great weapon on the Longhorns, I'm not a fan.
Okay, there it is. 25 ambushers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Okay. Can units of 25 ambush? I thought it was 20. Is that just me?
I think 25 can.
Okay. Because I've seen everyone cap it at 20. Seems to be.
No, there are definitely some 24s.
Okay. All right.
Because Duncan's list had 23s, I think.
Did it? Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I like the binding scroll.
25 is the cap for ambush on Wild Horns.
Got it.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't like the magic. I think that's really the problem with the list. Is if that apprentice was a master, then it would be much better.
Agreed. Even if he's a shot, I mean, even an adept where he's at least channeling and has 2 spells, maybe you give him the hereditary. Anyway.
Yeah, the Beast Hereditary is not good.
It's
Okay.
garbage. Hot garbage.
All right.
Lenny. Yeah.
Eye of Dominance. Look at that. Fatal Folly, though.
That's a great one. Every time your opponent rolls a 1 to hit you, you get to hit him in the face with a beast dex.
Do you really?
Yeah, just punch it back in the face.
I like that.
I don't know.
2 Masters, Shamanism and Evocation.
I like that.
Well, and the Seed of the Dark Forest, so he's going to line those dudes up, and they'll be +2 to cast.
Yeah, that's...
And double binding
sexy.
scroll.
And
Or wait,
double
no,
binding.
you just have one?
No, just one.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
That's close to 900 points, though, in Mages.
Shamanism and Evocation are phenomenal.
All right. He does have a BSB. Mongol Raiders, 2 units, 15 Ambushers, 3 Chariots. Okay. 2 units of 7 Minotaurs. I'm seeing a lot of lack of hitting power. I mean, 2 units of 7 Minotaurs is good, but...
The Beast Lord's really beefy.
Well, the Beast Lord's a monster.
Yeah.
3 raiding chariots. Yeah, he might
Remember
be
that he's Minotaurs are strength 5, and he's got a way to give them reroll the wound with lethal strike or +1 strength.
Correct. Understood.
So.
Just
yeah, I mean,
watch it.
I think he probably has enough. He might be a little short, but he certainly has the magic to back it up.
I mean,
the other thing
Minotaurs are
too
only
is
packing 21 wounds, right?
yeah, but so 42 total.
Yeah, but 21 per unit.
Now, Gene, imagine a magic phase. Let me weave you a magic phase here. Okay, you can give them +3 agility. Okay, they have shields, so that means they parry. So against everything but paired weapons, he can cast Break the Spirit. So you're hitting Minotaurs on 5s.
Right.
He can make them tough 5 or strength 6, reroll the wound, or drop your toughness in a leadership fighting the Minotaurs.
Understood.
Honestly, the thing Lenny is probably most scared of is running into a very heavy shooting army.
Right.
Mhm.
Because ambushers can mitigate some of that.
And
Yeah.
I think he just kind of runs over everybody else, though. With that's a very good magic phase.
It is.
A
But
plus.
like, if you hit like one of like Jake Murphy's Empire or some of the high elf lists, I mean, it'll take them a turn or two to take down a Minotaur bus.
Yep.
You know, so a couple turns into the game, you have one heavy hitter left.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. And Rapmund.
This
There's your
is
Twin Hungers.
There's the Twin Hungers I'm looking for.
one of 2 Ratmans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think the KOE one is Aaron, and I don't remember this one's first name.
Somebody was typing fast.
Yeah.
He's the doctor. He usually has nurses do that for him.
That's true. I guess doctors type as well as they write.
Oh, I cannot spell the word shield.
Shield.
I constantly, and I probably wrote it about 500 times in this document.
I would think so.
I switched the E and the I constantly. If I could write it correctly, I would have finished this like an hour earlier.
Are you sure you're a doctor?
What do we got?
Double Minotaur character, Master on Druidism.
Yep.
And then 10
all
Minotaurs.
small units.
All small units.
3, 3, 4.
Can you scroll down just a little bit?
I did. I checked.
Oh, I was hoping for double Gortok.
I was looking for a second Gortak myself. That's why I scrolled.
I got excited.
The other thing that I don't know, I've seen, and it's not just Ratman, and it's not just the Beast Herd players, but there are a lot of people who decided to cut points by cutting musicians,
right,
before they cut champions or standards.
Yeah.
And at really high end play, I can see people doing that because their movement is going to be clean enough, or they'll have a good enough idea what they're doing. But in most cases, I think that's a mistake.
Well, I think he's looking at those small units don't need one because they can wheel pretty quick, is
If
what
you
I
run two by
may
two.
be thinking. Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know, but
Well, like I said, it's not just him. There are a lot of people who cut musicians out of their armies.
Okay.
A lot of very quiet armies come into Buckeye.
Master of Druidism, Greater Totem Bearer, and 3 totems. Wow. Plenty to choose from.
Yeah, it's a lot of choice.
All right. That was the last beast herd. So what do you guys think?
I like Lenny's list. I like Neil Hamilton's list.
I'd say toss up between those two on who can get the better run of matches there.
Yeah, I like Lamb's list, but I think there's going to be a game where his leadership just bites him in the butt.
Yeah, with no BSB. Oh yeah, that's going to be a problem.
So I'm going to say, that's hard. I'll give it to Lenny. I think Lenny's going to take home best in race.
I will concur with you.
I'm going Gurin. I think he's going to run over people with the Minotaurs.
He's going to run over people.
I think so.
I want to put him behind him.
What's
He
that?
has 5 more than Lenny does, and 3 more raiding chariots.
That's a lot of just crap coming at you. I'm with you. Yeah, I can see your pick.
Joe, you took who? Lenny?
I'll take, just to be different, I'll take Neil Hamilton. So we have a Lenny, Hamilton, and Gurin.
And then Lenny for Ryan. All right. Tracking this, by the way. All right. I'm going to say right now, I've got Ben as best Dread Elves.
Are we sure?
Do you have to score points to be the best?
Do you have to break 20?
All right. He needs more practice with his list. I know what he's trying to do, but he needs more practice with it.
It's super shooty.
It is.
A lot of shots.
It's run away from you and shoot and not engage in combat.
Yeah, I just rolled him today, though, with it. So
You have a lot of bodies, though. So, like, another elf player would just cry. Coming into this
probably a
much
good point.
strength 3 and 4 shooting.
I guess it's going to be matchup dependent.
There are not a lot of pure elf armies coming to this. I mean, he's the only dark elf, so that's out. The high elves he has a shot against, but almost all the Sylvan elves are very tree heavy lists. So it is not a great field for this. I think, like you said, I think when you get really good at it, there's a lot of potential, but there's also a potential to go down real hard.
All right.
But he will win best in race.
He will win best in race.
But will he score more than 30 points?
I think so.
30 the over-under?
That's halfway.
Let's go
30. It's halfway.
30,
is what,
is
50?
40.
Is 50.
50.
So that's a little aggressive.
So 25 is a quarter.
Yeah.
25 is a quarter. So let's set it at 30.5 is the over-under.
I'll go over.
I'm going under because he always lets me down.
I try to bet on him as he's failing me. So.
He always lets me down.
I got you, Ben.
Okay. Dwarven holds. What do we got? Holdstone, plate armor, iron, destruction, fury.
I don't want to look up what all this crap does.
Well, the destruction's the D3 wounds.
It's the typical.
Fury's an extra attack.
Yes.
Smashing's strength 10 against tough 5.
It's a 1-up, 5-up who does, multi-wound D3 with an extra attack.
He's a 1-up, 4-up when he's charged.
But he is only strength 4, right?
Yes.
Strength 5 against, or strength 10 against tough 5.
Sorry, smashing.
There it is, smashing.
Oof.
And then he's got a BSB with the if I hit you, I get 3d3 more strength 4 hits.
Yeah.
He's got a breath weapon, and he's got a 1-up, 6-up.
This is the list that Jeff was running, more or less.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Team kind of 19 Rangers, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Which will put out a lot of range damage.
It also shuts down magic. Like
and
if
is
you're not
very
heavy in magic, you're gonna get shut down.
it is tough to get through. You think a lot of these gun lines, you get to it and you'll take them off. It's tough, but it's going to have a lot of trouble competing for objectives. And
It's also
yeah, I
in
mean,
singles play. It has a hard time scoring big wins.
yeah,
Unless
it's
people throw at it.
Right. It's you can't really dictate the matchup like I
Right.
think you need to win a singles tournament.
it'll hang around in the middle.
Right. He could easily win 5 games and end on like 55.
All right. Reese. What is this? Nolan gives 2 thumbs down.
I don't know. People can make comments on the
Oh,
document.
okay. And that had that on it when you copied them.
Yeah, apparently Benjamin.
This is
Ben
Pete Reese's list. He took this same list to Brawler Bash. This is the Crusher
Dragon Seeker of Doom.
Yeah, one's agility 11, the other 9, I think.
Right.
Something dumb on the charge.
Yeah, smashing a monster seeker, Grim's Resolve is more tax.
This is another list that does not want to line up against a lot of shooting.
Organ gun and a cannon, 2 steam copters. Yeah, this is ugly.
It's gonna run people over. It ran Chris Mintz over last year.
You know who will take this
Ben.
list off the board? Yeah, it's Ben's list.
Ben actually could do well against this.
Yeah, those seekers will go down real fast.
If he gets paired against Pete Reese, I'm going to have to change my scoring on Ben.
No, because Ben would be like, you know what? I could shoot seekers, but instead, I'm going to shoot some clan warriors.
All right. Yeah, this is an ugly list. I hate these 2 seekers. These 2 dragon seeker characters. These guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just ugly.
I mean, Pete's good at this type of list. And yeah, he's gonna do well.
Does Pete ever play anything other than dwarves?
I've never seen him play anything other than dwarves.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Who's this guy? General Holdstone. Ruin of Iron. Wow. Light on characters.
Yeah.
No triple lightning.
No,
just
one. Only 3 runes. He does have 2 cannons and an organ gun, and then he's got 3 units of special infantry.
But it's not a rune crafted organ gun.
It's probably how I got all 3 in.
Yeah, well, those cannons are going to eat my spiders alive.
Bye-bye. Those seekers will eat your spiders alive, too.
I'm pretty sure this is the only double cannon list in the tournament.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, it's very vanilla, this list is. He's probably going to throw all the characters in the Deep Watch. I'm not a big fan of Kingsguard when you upgrade them. I like them nice, cheap, and dirty.
Right.
Again, my issue with dwarf lists, like unless you're Pete Reese's list where it's just going to be on top of you, is this list doesn't look like it can really dictate games.
No.
Like it's just a couple of medium-sized block that can be picked apart and destroyed one by one.
Yep.
And, you know.
If I didn't have the spiders, I would not be worried at all about this list, but he shoots those off.
It almost feels like he has, this is the list he's been playing since 6th edition because it's all in 20s and blocks.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, best dwarf?
Reese.
Yeah, Pete Reese.
All the way across?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Pete.
Now that we picked it, Pete's going to just run into pyromancy and shooting the rest of
it's gonna be
5 games of pyromancy.
Can we arrange that with Jeff?
I know. Well, yeah, there are probably 5 pyromancy lists.
Mike Smith, Demon Legions. Deceiver, 2 Harbingers.
All right, Gene. There is a big old trick in this list. Can you see what it is?
Elemers, Odin, Hardened, Mage Body, Titan Slayer,
Like
Chariots.
knows what any of this stuff does.
Mers with Venom Sight, Theodins. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. What am I
Joe,
missing?
would you like to explain?
So the way that this list works is you take the Deceiver to be your general, which opens up venom sacks for your harbingers because they can then take what is it, envy, whatever god that the
Oh,
Deceiver follows.
got
The
it.
venom sacks then go into the eidolons with the Aura of Despair. So you have one less dice for charging the eidolons, and then you're pumping out 18 poison shots with 18-inch range.
One less dice.
I think
What
so.
minus 2 inches?
-2 inches.
Okay.
Excuse me, rules team. Um,
Okay.
uh, so that's the big trick is you're
But
just getting
doesn't
a
the double poison give it poison on 5s?
No, they go in different units. He
they
has
go in
2 units
different
of
units.
Eidolons. So
His
he puts
cat.
out 40 poison shots that also can't have better than a 4-up armor.
Oh. Okay.
So he's really what your spiders don't want to see.
I don't have better than a 4-up armor, but I don't want to deal with that many poison shots.
My problem with the eidolons is that they take all of the penalties from shooting.
No, they don't. They're accurate.
Okay, well there you go. They're accurate, but they still
No long
take
range.
cover.
Okay.
They still take movement. And they're not that long of a range with only 18 inches, and that's a lot of points to be hanging on that 18-inch. I get the Aura of Despair, but it's a lot of
So
points
really, it
leaving
makes
out
it
there.
like 20-inch shooting.
No, they still have to be within 18 inches.
Yeah, but you're -2 to charge, so that's like you were 20 inches away from a unit without it.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. That's a lot of poison then.
Yeah.
Doug Mooney. Amal. God, I still want to see one of these things explode.
I just
Yeah.
want to see one take the Master of Witchcraft. I don't know why people don't take them all with Master of Witchcraft.
Why so?
Witchcraft's just a phenomenal lore.
I love witchcraft, but okay.
Here's the problem. The maw itself is not bad, especially coming in at 500 or something points. But when you load up everything else on it,
Yeah, he's 1,000.
yeah, plus a general bonus. I mean, you kill that guy, and
You drop Hammerhand. That saves you what?
and Iron Husk.
Yeah, you can drop both, because he's just a big tough caster. Like
Right.
That'll save you 150 points or so.
What's
Right.
Iron Husk?
He becomes T6.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's solid, but he also heals. Like I like the Maw. If you're gonna make him a master, make him on Witchcraft, because Witchcraft is just a much better lore than Evocation.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
But
it
with
is.
demons, it's interesting.
With demons, mainly because if you're worried about it, Twisted Effigy is a phenomenal spell.
It is a nice spell.
Will o' the Wisp is a phenomenal spell just to mess with people's
That
movement.
eliminates a unit from charging you.
You got Raven's Wing to get your really fragile but very hard-hitting Brazen Beast in the zone that they want to be in. Or if you're running, he's got 2 Horde Threshers in this list. So helping those chariots really work those flanks with Raven's Wing. It's just incredible.
All right. And 6 Bloatflies.
Blowflies fell off quite hard.
They did when they got
Thanks to
hit.
the Wolf team.
I think they're still good, but the problem is everybody's comparing them against what they were.
The last edition,
Yeah, and they're still a flying flying unit with 4 wounds. They picked up a better save. They picked up another attack and I think another point of AP and a point of defensive weapon skill. But they went up a bunch in price.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's still a good unit. The whole list doesn't want to see a lot of shooting.
What is a Horde Thresher? Is that chariot?
It is a chariot that does, I believe it's mix up the 2 chariot or the
Lawnmower chariot, right?
It's the
Yeah, it
medium.
does like a bunch of strength 4 impact hits.
It's 3D. I think it's 3D3 plus 1 or 4D3. I can't remember, but it's a bunch of D3 strength 4 impacts. And if he roaming hands, that's the one. I think if he I think that's the one. If he reforms, it becomes +1 strength.
Mm.
If he combat reforms, it becomes +1 strength.
Yeah, the Horde's the medium one. And it does
I think it's
3d3 impact.
3d3.
Yep.
But it's also move 10.
Okay. Yep.
So really what he wants to do is he wants to kill a chaff unit, not pursue it, and then become strength 5.
Why?
Because
strength 5 is better than strength 4.
Yeah.
I mean, where does it get strength 5 from?
Roman hands.
If it combat reforms or
That's not roaming hands.
Oh, is roaming
No,
hands
that's the
where
gluttony
you
one from
flank?
Warriors of Chaos. Is what you're
Roaming
thinking of, Ryan.
hands is if you're in the flank or rear, you get +1 strength, +1 AP.
Okay, yeah, I'm mixing it up with one of the other ones.
I like the other one better.
You like the flank one?
Yes. No. I like the other one better. The +1 strength.
If you reform? Yeah. They're both okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because who really wants to turn, like, you can't let it get in your flank, and 10 inches is pretty wonderful.
Digestive vomit is the other one. Is what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. All right. Moving on. Jason Sprague. Back to play again. He's got a Maul 990. It's cheaper than the other one. And a Courtesan. Oh, God, that's that thing that scares me. If it gets in the flank of my unit, I'm dead. Any unit. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
if it gets
there. I think it's
hard target too, right? With mesmerizing plumage.
No, mesmerizing plumage is the one where it drops the opponent's weapon skill by 1. You're thinking kaleidoscopic flesh.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I apologize.
But he brought some witchcraft for you.
Yeah, he did.
Witchcraft's great, but again, the Masters where you get Will o' the Wisp. Will o' the Wisp.
Yep, Will o' Wisp is a really good spell.
Especially when you're trying to get on top of people with these like MSU Myrmidons and
but
Brazen
this is
Beasts.
definitely all MSU. Nothing hard hitting. Except
Yeah,
that Courtesan in your flank.
Don't like this list.
I love the rest of the list.
No.
Nothing else there either.
Dross's list.
Yep. A Deceiver, Harbinger, Veil Serpents, Float Flies, Cold Fleas.
So he's gonna, I think, put the Deceiver in the. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is not the list I was thinking of. There's a list where there's a Deceiver that's gonna make imps poison, but this is not it.
No.
It's not a huge. Other
He's
one
probably gonna give it to the Succubi.
1, 2. What score? The Claude Fiend score?
Yeah.
Claude Fiend score, and the Succubi, and the Myrmidon score.
So he's got 4 scoring units.
That's not bad.
No. It's all about that combo charge.
The Veil Serpents I really like them with the champion. They have some good spells.
So do I.
Twisted Effigy, the weapon skill one, I think. I forget what the third spell is.
These guys, Phil's gonna love this.
Jump on his bunker.
Yep.
It can fight in a narrow frontage. It can scout within 6 inches of a mage unit.
Yep.
And it poison 5 up.
It ambushes within 6 inches of a mage unit, not scout.
Yeah.
That's
The other spell, Ryan, is Smite the Unbeliever from Thaumaturgy, and they can also take the Spear of Infinity.
Which is a good, that's 3 great spells.
That's an interesting list.
Just leading off every phase on a 2 dice Twisted Effigy with +1 to cast from a Veil Serpent unit it's awesome. Like, that's awesome.
And he's a master on the Deceiver, so he's going to probably have Raven's Wing, the Evo one. He could take his Hereditary
+2. Master of what?
Know the enemy. He's a Protean Potentate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he gets Thaum, Evo, Witchcraft, and Div.
Okay.
These are all good number 1 spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he has 4, 5, 6, 7 spells. No, 8 spells.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a decent list. I still love this. Phil's gonna be terrified of that. All right.
There was a list I saw somewhere that had I think it was maxed out Mage Blade, so it was like 2 units of 5 and 1 unit of 3.
Oh wow.
Come on, Tomb Kings. Pair me into Tomb Kings.
All right. Baker. Sentinel. Withering Vapor. Fighting Throne. Imps. Succubi.
Ooh.
Imps with the Incendiary Ichor.
Yeah,
I
so
like-
this is the one. The Deceiver goes into the Imps, gives them poison and flaming.
Solid.
I like the Imps with the other thing. The let you scout them in your own territory.
A dark hide.
Yeah. Or whatever that is. Yeah. I like
And
that
he's
because
got
then
2
you
by
can wait
5
and place them where
The
they're not
Deceiver
going to
could
get
also,
damaged.
Ryan, go into the Eidolons.
Yeah, they're too small though.
2 units of 5.
Yeah.
Oak Harvester, Blazing Glory. Blazing Glory.
And 3 Hoarders. It's a nice all-comers list. I like 20 Myrmidons with Piercing Spike. I think that's a great unit.
Yep.
Especially when backed up by Div.
Yeah.
And
The
that
Blazing Glory is
Sentinel.
interesting. That's the guy that's weapon skill and is twice what his wounds are or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he starts off at 10 and
Right. And then goes
AP
down.
5, I think.
Okay.
And then the new thing is he counts as a champion, and if he's in a challenge, he's stubborn.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know that. Might have to read up
yeah.
on demons before this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because all the lists are pretty different.
They are.
There's not a template on demons yet. I think I like Mike's list, or
I like Taurus.
yeah, I like
Taras.
his too.
Taras is my favorite list.
Taras has got. I'm going with Taras. You going with Taras as well, Joe?
I will, yeah. He's my guy.
I'll go with Mike. I got Mike.
Mike. All right. Those are our demons. What do we got next? Sunstall. And let me bump this down real quick.
Mr. Joel Flint.
There he is. Prelate. Locket of Soon, of course. Master of... Ooh, I like that. I like the essence of the free mind.
Yeah.
Adept of Divination with the Book of Power.
And double binding scroll too.
Gunners. Militia, Imperial Guard, Arcane Engine. Yeah, he's gonna be really.
He's
gonna
got
be
double
really
cannon.
upset if he runs against a Vermin Swarm list.
Yes, he has 1.5 cannons.
Yeah,
1.5. Esteem's only half.
Excuse me. I
Only
apologize.
Strength 3 D3 wounds.
Mhm.
Or sorry, strength 7. Strength 7.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Half a cannon. He's
I
got
like
the
this list a
handgunners.
lot.
I like
And
how
the-
crossbows over handgunners just for the extra range.
I do too.
Especially if he's running alchemy, which is already going to help his armor pen
Yeah.
and the cannons.
The only thing I don't like, I would take Pyro over Divination on that adept.
I would too, just for flaming sword and then pyroclastic flow with +2 to cast. My only other concern is it's something that we've been experiencing with in the team is this list has one scary block and that's kind of it. Like it can get run over and pushed off objectives pretty easy.
25 Imperial Guard with parry and
This is only real combat threat.
parry and distracting. But
Distracting.
if you've got paired weapons, you don't care about the parry.
Mm-mm.
They can be 1-up armor. They're a tough unit. They're not something you can take lightly, but they're also,
Right.
move 5 and they can't kill the world if they get in the wrong match. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of things that can just hold them while they kill the rest of the army.
Mhm.
All right.
It's a good army. I expect Joel to do well.
Leaply. Light of the Sunstall. Master of Divination.
So this is going to be first of I think 2 or 3
Fabulous
night
primary.
buses. Was that
What were you saying? 2 or 3 what?
2 or 3 night buses?
Yeah.
Yep, just a big old night bus with the steam tank. Let's go.
All right.
Altar of Battle making a return.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while. All right.
4 Knights of the Sun Griffin. Yeah, it's looking great.
No,
It's a one-up wall. You
no
know,
locket.
it's not going to kill much, but it's not going to lose much.
Couldn't fit the locket on that wizard. All right.
And he does have the Light of the Sonstal.
It's I don't know. It's
Look at this. Shield
it's
and then Shalid.
Yeah,
see, I
1-to-1.
can't spell shields.
I want to play this list.
What are you running?
A lot of toxic.
You're running vermin, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, this list is dead.
That's why I want to play it.
I can understand.
I really don't think the night bus is the
Viable.
best play style right now for Empire.
Well, the other problem is he's got 2 big night buses, these Sun Griffins, and only 1 chaff to get in there, to help him, and even that's a pricey chaff.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's there. I almost feel like I'm missing a unit here. Let me double check that I didn't leave something out here. It seems
Look,
too
like he's almost capped his character points there. Like
7, 10,
hold on, I'm adding it up.
15. Yeah, he's like 1,600 characters.
519.
Oh, there are 2 Knights of the Sun Griffin, not 1.
Okay,
Well, that does help.
that helps.
I knew it looked too small.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because I was looking at it, I was like, where are his points? All right, so it is fixed on the main document now. But even knowing there's a second one, I don't know. I'm not wowed by it.
No.
I'm not either.
Just taking the double cart for -1 strength for the units fighting the Knights of the Sun Griffin would make this list so much better.
But I think he's worried about it not keeping up.
Yeah, I mean.
So.
Well, he brought one of the other carts.
What's that?
The altar battle he brought, but
He brought the altar.
he did. All right. Jake Murphy.
Gonna look a lot like Joel's list.
Soon 220 with crossbows. So what's he got? A Master of Cosmo, Adept of Pyro with the Book of Power.
He's got the Great Griffin. I love that martial build. He's got 40 crossbows, 30 militia, big unit of Imperial Guard, some chaff, some rockets.
Rockets?
I'm not a fan of the rockets
When you find out that you can get 2 rockets for only slightly more than 1 cannon.
Yeah, but they're rockets.
I
can get like 5 bows for a cannon. Anyway, go ahead. Rockets, you like them?
They're not bad, and especially with how much monstrous infantry is running around, and especially if he puts flaming swords or +1 to hit on them.
3 shots, strength 5, AP 3, multi-wound D3. Okay. Yeah.
It's all about the flaming swords, because the big thing you got to come over is the strength 5.
Yep. All right.
I like that he's got a ton of chaff though.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the scenario, he could have 7 pieces of chaff, I think.
Right.
Oh, the 3,
4, 5, 6. Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
And the knight 7.
That's what.
Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah.
Yep. Are you sure you're a doctor?
He was moving all around. But he has the same issue that Joel was having, or I anticipate.
One unit that can stick.
it's one unit, and the marshal is
The
his
zone.
combat hitting power, and the steam
Right.
tank.
Right.
But it can pump out a lot of range damage.
Yeah. It just deletes units with those crossbows.
All right. Sadler.
This is the other night bus, but I think this one is a little bit better because he focused on one unit.
One
15.
big.
That can be chaffed easily.
Well, the other one, you split the characters between two, and then you don't really get the punch of either.
Hmm.
He really built this for that unit. It's a, it's a Death Star.
Yeah, I don't like the death warrant on a nightly order. It doesn't do much.
It still gives him battle focus on strength 6 knights.
Oh, if they charge.
Well, no, every round.
They're
Yeah,
lances,
but
aren't
they're
they?
strength 4 knights.
Oh, you're talking about off the charge, yeah.
Yeah.
But on the charge, it adds some extra strength 6.
Yeah.
I like this as a better
Up there we lose
than
it.
Empire. I think they're better builds.
2, 3,
Witchfire Prelate, Master of Cosmo.
7, 8.
Okay.
You're talking about it adds one. Death warrant adds one extra strength 6 hit.
No, usually 2 or maybe 3.
Well, no, because if your 3 characters are going to take up the front 3 slots on that night bus, so
Yeah.
that only leaves you 7 plus champ is 8. So you're talking realistically 1 extra.
Oh, because you're only getting 8.
Right, you only get 8 attacks.
Good point. I should go 6 wide.
And then you're kind of defeating the purpose of running that night bus for big rank, 1-up armor.
You're trying to break the ranks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. Again, it's the issue with the night bus.
Yeah, I don't like Knights of the Sun Griffin in 3s because I think you kill one and you're suddenly the unit's no longer worth its salt.
The problem with night buses in general is if they screw up, if they get held or they fail a charge, or even the other person has a ton of chaff and something gets into that flank, the unit will fall apart. Plus, there are only 15 bodies there, so if you run into someone with alchemy or who has like
Toxic
Joe,
catapult
shots, that the bodies go away quickly, and all of a sudden, you're not breaking their ranks and you're not putting out as much damage.
How happy would you be to draw this opponent, Joe?
Thrilled.
All right, so we've got that one. We've got Murphy's, Joel's. So Joel and Murphy's are about the same. The other 2 are night buses.
Yeah, I'd pick Joel or Murphy, and I'll. That's a tough one. It basically, do you like the Alchemy Cosmo, the Double Binding Scroll, or do you like the Pyro, and the Griffin Lord? I'm going to go with Jake because he does have the Hitty Griffin.
I see. It's funny. I was gonna go Joel because he had double cannon, double binding scroll.
He only has one. Well,
2 binding scrolls.
1.5.
Or one. Excuse me.
1.5
cannons. 1.5 cannons and double binding scrolls.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
I'll go with. I want to go with Joel, but I gotta go with Jake because Joel, I'm not sure, is going to be standing upright by the end of the day.
Fair criticism.
So Ryan took Murphy.
Murphy.
What did you go?
I'm going Mr. Flint.
Joel. All right. Empire's dead. Highborn Elves. You know this guy? Heats?
I do not.
Okay. High Prince. It's not on a dragon.
He's got the cannon. He's a carrying tower.
BSB. I'm not a big fan of putting points, putting a big banner on your BSB.
No, I'd have put that on the Flame Wardens just because they're not going to go anywhere all game.
Yeah. Well, they've got the Rending.
Yeah.
I guess you could put it on the Knights of Rima, but they might go away.
Yeah, that's why I put them on
Queensguard carry it?
Yeah, they could, but then you want to put your big banner on 13 toughness 3 models with no save?
Probably not.
It's a lot of shooting.
It's
a lot of shooting.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. So 14 archers 14 archers, 13 Queen's Guard, and 2 sloops is not a lot of shooting. I mean, it's a good number.
It's effective shooting. How about
It's
that?
effective.
Especially when backed by pyromancy and the cannery tower.
I'm not a huge fan. All right.
I mean, I don't like this list.
Are we
that
missing
much.
something on this list, Ryan?
Let's add it up.
I'll double check it. I think that is correct, actually.
I
feel like
it's a little light.
I don't think it is. I think correct.
Because I see there's only, what, 9? There's a little over 1,000 points in characters. Oh, no, this guy's 500. Never mind. I missed him.
That is the correct list.
Okay.
He does have the spear. I mean, it's pretty close to what Bergie was running that was doing pretty well, but he's cut out some Flame Wardens in order to get a unit at Knights of Rima.
Right.
Other than that, it's pretty dang... Yeah, it's pretty dang close to what Bergie was running.
Okay.
That did pretty well.
Bergie wasn't running sloops. Bergie was running 3 bolt
throwers. He also had a chariot.
Correct.
And another mage instead of the Knights of Rima, and more Flame Wardens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Loman. Night Prince. This is a Pearl Throne.
Role Huntsman.
I think that might be Royal.
Yeah, I think so. I promise I did spell check this before.
I'm looking at all these things underlined already, and it's like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Swordmasters, Flame Wardens, Sea Lords.
Nope. It's a whole lot of nope.
I don't like this list. I mean, I don't want to run against it.
Really? What are you scared of?
Swordmasters chop me up.
Oh, you're Swordmaster.
Down, Gene.
And then when you realize that your goblins on the back of a spider kill like 2 Swordmasters a turn.
You were both talking there. What?
I've got 16. I got 26 bow shots. I'm not doing anything to Swordmasters.
Hitting on 5s, winning on 4s.
A quarter of them.
Yeah. Anyway.
You will. 26
anyway.
shots hitting on 5s, so take out a third. Round it to call to it, so you got 8 hits, 4 wounds, 1 save. You just killed 3 Swordmasters for your bullshit shots. You're doing just fine.
3 Swordmasters, yay.
All right,
yeah,
so
20% of his unit.
If I had impact, I'd be happy. If I had impact hits. Anyway.
Well, that's your... You can also just plug in your frickin' Orc Boar Boys will take care of a Swordmaster unit just fine.
Yeah, they're not that scared. Good point. All right.
Oh.
Just charge the character into it, Gene.
He does not have eagles as chaff. He has no chaff.
And actually, you know what? In the last... Neither of the lists have an eagle. Nope. The last 2 we just went through.
Mm-mm.
Jeez, that's... okay. That's fine, isn't it? Don't the Hiles get fined if they leave home without him?
Without an eagle?
They're mainly reducing the population.
They're an endangered species now, so they have to...
I guess maybe you're right.
Be careful.
All right. We got another high elf list.
You sound disappointed.
And look, 2 eagles. Look at that. All right. I'm happy. I like this list better.
Just looking actually where you're highlighting, this list is just better. You got triple bolt thrower, 2 eagles, 25 flame wardens. It's a great start to a list.
Yep.
This is way closer to Berkey's list.
This is way more aggro too. That lion chariot. What's that?
No
Queen's Guard.
Yeah.
Queen's Guards are for sissies.
And no archers.
Listen, Frankie's ready just to push. Frankie's ready just to push down your throat. Okay.
Is that Frankie?
I think so.
Master Karnreg Tower, Lion Chariot, High Prince on a Lion Chariot.
He's got the Order of the Fire Heart.
Order of the Fiery Heart. That's the one that lets him fire out of combat.
Into combat, and I think it gives him an extra 6 inches.
Into his own combat, right?
Into his own combat, and the spells get an extra 6 inches. And
that's Asfad Scholar.
Oh, yeah, I'm mixing it up. Sorry. It's the one where if you're on a dragon, it gives you...
Yeah, so he's not on a dragon.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay.
I wonder if he's going in the Flame Wardens.
He probably took it so he could take Pyro
and
Alchemy.
Spear blocks, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, it does let you take Alchemy as a lore.
Oh, okay. Is that what it does for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, it's very aggro. It's very blocky.
All right. Szymanski. Szymanski.
Szymanski?
Okay. Mage is a general. Book of
Szymanski.
Melodies. Potion of Strength. Destiny's Call.
Watch out! Watch out for that potion of strength on a mage.
Jeez, believe me, I've taken it. It's been pounding. Commander, Queen's Companion, Dragonforge Armor, Shield, Sliver of the Blazing Dawn. Alright, so Spear, Sea Guard, 20 Queen's Guard, only 18 Flame Wardens. That's a little light, isn't it?
They're all kind of light. Like, none of them have, they all have 18 or 19.
Well, that guy's got 25 up above.
Yeah, he's the only one. He has the most Flame Wardens.
Mm-hmm.
3 Sea Guard Reapers, though, 2 Eagles. Okay.
That's a lot of shooting.
He's avoiding his fine.
That's a lot of shooting.
Is it?
He's got 3 strength, 5 AP, 3 shots from his BSB. He's got a master on pyromancy. He's got 3 more strength, 4 from the Queen's Companion. And then he's got 20 Queen's Guard shots and then triple bolt thrower.
You have
25 Sea
Guard. Yeah. You have to stop flaming swords on this army.
Yes. Yeah. No choice.
Whoever plays this, just set all your dice on flaming swords every round.
Or he's going to shoot you off the table.
It's just, that's a ton of shooting.
It is. It is a lot.
Man, wouldn't it be worth it just to, I don't know.
I'd love to see him play Pete. I'm sorry, Pete. I apologize. All right, Travis Waveforth. Prince.
This is a little different. This is a little different than what he ran at Mountain.
So he's got a guy on a dragon. No Eagles.
No Eagles.
What the hell? All right.
Eagles are so out of fashion.
He doesn't even have a BSB.
Why? It's one of the best pieces of chaff in the game. How are they not in this list?
Yeah, you're right. No BSB either. He's counting on divination.
And just generally high leadership. Yeah.
12 and 6, 18. That can't be everything. This has got to be low.
Let me double check.
Yeah, there's something missing.
The last one he had a flame phoenix, but he changed it a little bit. Let me double check.
11, 17, and 6, 23. I'm only seeing like 24.
I count him like 800 points short there.
So here he has High Prince, another High Prince, a mage, 20 Citizen Spears. Yep. 28 Sea Guard. Oh, here we go. 6 Knights of Rima.
Okay.
6 Knights of Rima, just straight up, which is 414. 21 Lion Guard and 3 Reapers.
Okay, that's a little better. All right, that makes sense. Looks a little better now. I'm still not thrilled with no BSB. I guess he's counting on divination, giving him the minimized roll.
Being leadership 10, yeah.
Yeah, so anywhere he thinks he may take a panic or a terror, he needs to put it there. But
all right. Okay.
I know Travis will do well.
Travis is my pick for top high elf.
He can't be my pick. He has no Eagles.
So Gene, you have to pick Frankie or Szymanski.
I got to pick one of these guys. I can't pronounce their name.
Yeah, because they're the only ones with Eagles.
That's a good point. Only 18 Flame Wardens. I got to go with, I guess this guy, Frankie.
I'd probably go with Travis or Heats, but I'd probably go with Travis.
I'm going Travis.
Z-Y.
Szymanski.
Okay. All right, and then you guys both went with Travis?
Yep.
You're counting a lot on a guy that's played like 3 games in ninth age.
It's fine.
All right.
He's running Furian's list, Gene.
That's okay. I mean, you can run the best list in the world if you haven't played it.
Didn't he do pretty well at your tournament, Gene?
He
He
did.
was on table 1. He played me.
He was.
See?
Yeah, game 4, he was on table 1.
Maybe I should just shut up and stop saying anything. That's a good point. All right, Bergie. As a prophet. Another prophet.
It's a lot of shooting. And he
Master of
had
Alchemy, a Pyro Adept.
the Icon of the Inferno, which every time he casts a spell, he gets an additional blaze. He's got 2 Chiefs for chaff, and then he's got
36 shots.
36 strength 4, AP 2 shots, 18-inch range.
Get him Incarnates. I like them a lot.
2 units, 1 big unit. The
And a
train.
shrapnel gun, Infernal Engine.
Uh-huh.
And 2 bolt throwers. Why not?
And the Volcano Cannon. So you got to watch it because the ID Hereditary makes you flammable to everything.
Right.
Not just close combat attacks like Alchemy.
Oh, really?
So, yep. And so the Volcano Cannon is a flamethrower where he's rerolling to wound against you.
Yep.
Yeah, don't get a block with stuff near that. Honestly, the thing that crushes with this list is really powerful magic phase, like an extremely powerful, because every time he's probably going to 2 dice every spell.
Right.
And every time he casts a spell, you're going to get hit with a blaze. So if he casts a fireball, you're going to get hit with another blaze. If he gets his hereditary off on you, now he's re-rolling the wound with all the blazes. Plus, you take another blaze at the end. And if you don't stop the hereditary, then he's just going to, pop you with Quicksilver, the spear, flaming swords. So now you have 36 shots that are essentially strength 5. It's a nasty, nasty magic phase. And he's basically channeling 3 dice a turn because he's going to steal 1 from you.
Yep.
And you can't run at him too fast because then the incarnates jump on you. And then if he gets 1 alchemy spell off, they're re-rolling the wound.
Oof. Okay. So avoid Berg is what you're saying.
Yeah, don't play Justin's list.
Don't play Bergie. Gotcha.
If you're going to play Justin's list, run at the list and just commit and hope he has a bad
Yeah,
phase.
the worst thing you can do against Justin is waffle, like right in that 21-inch kind of zone where his Citadel Guard can just start picking you off, and you're then caught, and the Incarnates are zoning you while you're under heavy fire.
Come forward and take your punishment for a turn and hope you have enough left to charge afterwards.
That's it. Just take your licks and keep moving.
All right. Cash Dollar.
I think this is Johnny Cash coming back to
he's got a bull and a titan. Let's go.
And double binding scroll.
And double Torok anointed. Let's go.
And I'm fighting him in the first round.
This is some.
Are you?
Yep.
This is some. Am I allowed to say this on your channel? This is a big dick energy list. You're gonna have to blink when he just lays that on the table, blind deployment style.
1, 2, 3.
You're gonna blush.
Did Torok score?
Yep.
So he's got 5 scoring units too.
Yep. Yeah, this is a fun one because he does multi-wound D3. The only problem is that bull. I think he's a 5-up, 5-up.
5-up, 5-up.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
So the bull can die, but he's going to put out some damage.
Well, he can hurt himself too with these things, right?
Correct.
What's that?
If he rolls a 1, he hits himself.
He does.
Only if he's in a unit.
No, in a unit he hits. In a unit he hits the unit.
Oh, yeah.
On his own, he hits himself. And I don't think he's going to be in a unit with this thing. Actually, I don't think it can join a unit.
Nope.
So he's going to be hitting himself.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I'm not betting on it, but.
But he has hatred, so he can reroll the 1s.
I will be right back. I have the hiccups.
All right. Leaves Mathis. Guy with a crystal ball. Oh, Vizier with a crystal ball. I like the crystal ball. Pyro Alchemy. Yeah. Chieftain, Citadel Guard. She's another, what, 44 Citadel Guard? Oh, these guys don't shoot.
Yeah, he
Okay.
has 20 that are just combat, and Banner Shamut is +1 weapon skill and +1 something else.
Okay. Immortals are their version of the Seekers,
Uh,
kind of.
no, their version of those are like Deep Watch. They're Strength 5. They have impact hits and stomps against them.
Aren't
So,
these the... I'm thinking about the Disciples of Lugar. Okay.
yeah, Immortals are they have special attacks.
Got it.
They're Strength 5. They're stubborn if there's a character in the unit. They're good. I mean, that's a small unit, but they're good. He might be taking him just because he wants the icon.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has Alk Pyro, so it's a solid magic phase still.
Yeah, not as scary as that last one.
It's not as good as Bergie's because he doesn't have, 6 spells. He just has 4, but it's still a good phase.
I don't like the Citadel Guard without guns.
Right.
Yeah, Joe, do you remember what the Banner Shemit does?
It gives you +1 weapon skill.
And it does something else, doesn't it? It's not just +1 weapon skill.
I think it's just +1 weapon skill.
Uh,
I'll double check.
Yeah, I got
+1
it.
to hit, maybe.
Banner of Shemut, +1 offensive skill and +1 combat res.
Okay. All right. So it's the old War Banner +1 weapon skill. Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Infernal Dwarves. It's got to be Bergie.
Yeah.
I really like Cash Dollar's list.
Yeah. Thanks.
I
Getting a big
can't.
20 round 1 too.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm going to boost him right to the top table.
Yeah,
I like Bergie's list. He knows how
It's
to
hard
play
to
it.
vote against Bergie.
Plus, he and I played the last 2 tournaments in like round 4 or 5, so I think he's due for a big tournament win here.
Bergie.
Yeah.
All right. Kingdom of Equitaine. Bond. I wonder what's his first name. All right. Duke with Tristan's Resolve, Death Cheater, Virtue of Valor. What am I not remembering what Valor is?
Is that
It's a lot of cowboys.
Hold on, I got it for you, Gene.
Yeah.
I think is that the extra charge range?
Valor. Oh, he's the one that you can't refuse a duel, and he rerolls to hit and wound in a duel.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I like that a lot.
And Tristan.
Where he breaks your weapon.
Yeah.
Cheater. All right. Damsel, Master of Druidism with wafers. 2 Paladin BSB, so it's a 1-up rerollable on that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The wafers are a really nice choice. For 25 points, you get. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. 12 knights, 10 knights, both with Stalker standard.
He just doesn't want to take terrain.
Yeah,
stay with the Grail Knights.
All 3 with the Grail Knight. So I guess no. If I play this guy, no break the spirit spell, huh?
No.
Yeah.
2 trebuchets. I like trebuchets, but I'm not a fan. I don't like you have to protect them. That's 560 points.
List is kind of clunky. He's got 3 big lances and then 3 combat character, but he's got no chaff. 16 peasant bowman isn't enough to get that chaff done, cleared. So I think he's going to get bogged down, and he doesn't have that. Know. Go ahead. Sorry.
KOE need the chaff to live. It keeps them
alive.
It keeps them going and prevents those big old juicy flanks from getting slammed into. I like the. I mean, it's 3 big blocks. They're all pretty scary and hitty, but it's gonna get flanked and die.
And he's only got 1 virtue.
Yeah, I mean, I just think might with that lance is it just solves so many problems for KOE with zoning and everything else that I know everybody's kind of like they roll their eyes when they see it just because everybody's taking it, but I really do think it kind of makes the army. It's a linchpin right now. Yeah, I mean,
especially like minotaurs or ogres.
A big unit of tribesmen can really just bounce a Knight of the Realm unit with parry and the Duke just kind of solves that problem.
I agree. All right, Koskin.
I'm also like they almost all did it, with the exception of Mr. Ratman, who we'll get to in a minute, and I like. But I mean, I understand Druidism, but it also I'm surprised we don't see a lot more like Adept Master or Double Adept or some variation in the damsels. They're not that expensive.
Right.
I'm
also surprised that I don't see, rather than the Stalker standard, put the damsel on the unicorn and get the same thing out of it. Plus magic resistance, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd rather see that than the Stalker standard on wherever she's going. Anyway. All right.
I think it's actually 50 points or 5 points cheaper, but you're getting an extra magic res for 5 points, so.
Yeah. All right. Duke on a Hippogriff. Virtue of Renown. That's
the lethal strike one.
Yep. I like that's it's a nice thing. Everyone's got to respect it. And there's the Virtue of Might on that guy.
Well, it's not that good. You need the I know it used to be called the Dragonlance. I'm not sure what it's called now.
What do you see missing in this list?
He doesn't have the.
He doesn't have the multi-wound. The Divine Judgment, devastating charge, multi-wound D3+1.
What else is he missing?
So he doesn't have the D3+1. So this guy charges and he gets devastating and gets the old Red Fury, but he doesn't do D3 wounds.
Right, and he doesn't have a BSB in this list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's deadly.
That's pretty scary when your 688-point Night Lances are taking panic checks.
Yeah.
Although Koskin is a good player.
Is he?
Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss something on here.
I mean, that looks like a maxed out characters. I mean, there's 7 and 6 is 13, and another 4 is 1,700. He can't have another character.
Yep.
I like Brigands. I'm surprised more people don't take them.
I think Brigands are fantastic. They're elves.
They're elves.
They're cheap elves. Actually, they're better because they move and they're quick to fire.
Right.
I like the little 3 Grail Knight like minibus as well.
I kind of do as well.
Because it's cheap enough. It's scored.
Close to death.
It's a fast scoring unit. It's 220. You can use it for chaff if you need to, but it'll put out some hurt too.
Yeah, I don't like not having a BSB, or this would be a decent. I would like this list a lot.
Also,
the guy is on his own,
and the Pegasus guy is on his own.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, I don't like the character setup. I like the rest of the list.
Another Rapman.
Yeah, this one I see where you're going. I like this one.
Divine Judgment, Virtue of Might.
There it is.
That's his only. No, okay. 2 Castellans is chaff. 2 Damsel, Master of Div, and a Master of Druidism. Wow. Wow. That's a magic phase.
I like that a lot.
What is the crystal
like that
Valiant Charge? That doesn't ring a bell.
It means it's an item you don't see a lot. If basically for each player's turn, every friendly unit that is in combat within like 12 inches or something, you take a Veil token out of your pool and the KOE player gets it.
Within 18 inches. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it can suck up a lot of Veils if you are stuck in charges.
Because in combat within 18.
You basically steal Veil from your opponent if your units are in combat during his turn. That's the problem, though. Is with KOE, you want to blow up their units under charge.
Oh, it's a 1-use only, too. It's 30 points. Okay.
Yeah.
It's only a 1-use. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I like the sound of it, but it's a 1-use only. And how many units are you going to have in combat within 18? 3?
Plus, the only way it matters is it's in your opponent's turn.
Right.
And you don't want to be in grinds.
Correct.
Oh, those peasant levy do.
Full command shields. Yeah, and weapon shields.
Yeah.
Knights aspirant. So knight buses. He's got the banner of the last charge.
Good.
5 aspirants. 8 grail with flame. 2 scorpions. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that I love the reliquary, but I like the big peasant unit. I think it adds some interesting play to the army, and I really like the double master.
He's got a single fighty character. No BSB. Yeah, I can't like this.
Now the peasants can use the castellans as a BSB, I believe.
Correct, but okay.
And they're going to go in the peasants, probably both of them. So the peasants get to count 3, 4, 5 ranks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2 legion standards.
They're going to
so they're a combat res bunker because they have parry. They're going to take the reliquary, and then they're going to
shoot for scrying and tough.
The problem is the castellans are just going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and that brings us to Path.
Here's your big boy.
Guy on a peg with divine judgment, virtue of might, paladin BSB. He's got a BSB. Virtue of valor.
Well, one real quick. The castellans have stand behind.
Oh, they do. I didn't know that.
Yeah, with their spear, so they've got.
So they're going to be standing behind in this one.
Standing behind, yeah.
Can you give them great weapons? Oh, spears. Okay.
Spears. So they have 2 strength 4 attacks.
Oh, then I like that. I kind of like that.
Why not? If you're going to stand behind, give them great weapons.
Just 1 strength 6.
Just 1 strength 6 each, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as a spear. I mean, you're both getting 1 attack anyway. All right. Back to Path. BSB on a barded warhorse, a damsel master with wafer.
I like it.
Divination, barded warhorse. All right, so 10 knights, 12. 3 knight peg.
I would have liked to see the last charge banner on one of the knights.
Oh, I like
and I would have liked to see 2 more peg knights so that Duke can then go in the peg knights and get a lookout, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't be sucked off on the charge by a champion because the peg knight champion takes it.
He needs another unit of outriders too.
Yeah, and that's the problem with all those hippogriff guys is they can't blow up a unit that has a champion because they'll come in, get challenged, they lose their D3 multi-wound, and then they're pretty bad. So Path is the only one who seems to have figured out that that's an issue. I just would have liked to see 2 more peg knights so he gets a lookout, sir. Yeah. I'm somewhat disappointed in some of the character builds that we're seeing here.
Yep.
So
2.
This guy's got a BSB. It's got to be this guy or the other guy because I can't pick an army without a BSB.
I'm gonna go Koskin.
I give the top
Isn't that
guy.
Kagdis? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Graf. I don't know who he is, but I like his list the best.
What didn't I like about Bond? Bond has no chaff. Oh God.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Killy Lord.
I don't
I'm going
have.
Kagdis. He's my guy.
Can I go none scores above 50?
I got Path.
Path?
Yeah.
So you're going Path. Where'd you go?
Koskin.
So what's that leave me?
All 5 of them? I like Ratman.
Rapman. I'm going to go Rapman.
Yeah,
Doesn't have BSB.
I know. You guys took the guys with BSBs.
My guy doesn't have a BSB.
Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. OG. Oh, this is a nightmare of a list.
Right. I just want to. Well, no. I shouldn't say anything because there's an ETC list out there from one of the teams that has an amazing BSB build that I have yet to see in the US, and I'm really disappointed. And people need to pay attention to the ETC KOE list when they come out, because there's a BSB build that should be on every team.
An Orc and Goblin or a KOE?
A KOE one.
Okay.
Joe knows who we're talking about, the team we.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So this is my list.
Do you have a BSB?
I added the Adept on the Chariot.
I
think has been fantastic for me.
Look, that's perfect to handle sword masters.
He'll kill 4 and then die.
Charge a chariot with my wolf chariot. Charge my chariot into him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good. I like that. Just so they only go.
Gene, I just don't like the mounted Ed Bashers.
Yeah,
really? I don't like the cav bust.
I dislike severely the I can replace them with 20 black orcs.
No, you don't even need to replace them with 20 black orcs. Like,
okay.
I think you could put the shaman master in those Ed Bashers with Hero's Heart, or go for a bunker or just something else, and then use 500 points for.
All I'm going to tell you is I just rolled an ETC player today. So
you did. Well, you embarrassed an ETC player today.
I didn't say it. Was that?
You got a point.
All right, that's my list. You guys can comment on it if you like. You don't like it.
I've watched your videos.
With this list.
Your characters never stay in the unit, so I don't know why you build a unit for them, because they're not going to stay in them.
Well, the mounted Ed Bashers, no monster wants to come anywhere near them. Strength 7 on the charge, people are afraid of them. The character, if I play dwarves, I guarantee you my general's going to stay in this army because of this thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to protect me.
You're gonna go in with that plan, and then you're gonna be like, you know what?
Yeah, it's really tempting to charge
my feral warlord's about to charge your chaff. Bring it, bitch.
In fact, I just watched one of your videos.
No, don't start.
And it was a game against dwarves, and your characters did not stay in that Mechanox unit.
They didn't.
No, they did not. They charged out. It was against another ETC player.
Oh, yeah. I remember that game.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't need to stay in there. I wasn't afraid of him. All right, moving on.
I like the list. I think getting rid of the trolls was a good move.
All right. Allison, Nate's. Feral Shaman, Shamanism, Master Shamanism. With Doctor. He's with the Doctor. Is that good for you? An Adept of Witchcraft. So he's got not the same build, but I mean he's using my same magic as me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I like. He's got the King on the Gargantula. I'm not enamored with this guy anymore.
Again, he can get he's sheepish, but he gets challenged out. Can die.
Yeah. And he's got anyway.
Orc and Goblin characters are probably the best character section in any army. There's so many things you can do with Orc and Goblin characters, and it just seems like a shame when you're eating into that with 500 points of a Gargantula.
I would like to see a champion.
I see that Gargantula is 5 Goblin Kid Chiefs on wolves or chariots or cave squigs or something. So.
So anyway, 40 common orcs, 23 Ed Bashers.
I do like the 40 2x40 Nashers.
2x39. Let's not exaggerate.
Oh, sorry, 39 and 2 Gargantulas.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I mean, I think Nate will do well because there will be some lists, like some of those shooty elf lists, where they pour all their shots in and they kill 1 Nasher unit in 2 turns, and then the rest of the list runs them over.
I agree.
It's a build that will work well against people who don't have an answer.
He has no chaff.
Yeah, who's his general? It's an autocracy guy who's going to go in.
Yeah.
Probably the Ed Bashers or common orcs.
Probably 40 common orcs.
I like the shamanism witchcraft combo. I don't know why you went great weapon and shield breaker. I
Oh.
think that might be a little bit of a waste.
That kind of is, because you're already strength, what,
7.
6, 7 on the first round. Yeah,
So
that's,
you,
no, strength 5 base, yeah, so 7. No, he's a chief, never mind, 4. Got it.
so I don't know. Nate has been on near the top tables in the last couple of tournaments,
Yep.
and it's because there's some people that he just steamrolls.
Yeah, well, people don't know how to deal with that. 2 units of 40 Nashers, and there's not 39, and there's not a good answer for that either.
It's you kill the feral shaman.
Yeah, there you go. Did we
Which
have
you guys
this
made fun of
discussion
me the
last
last
time?
time.
Just run around and kill it.
Just kill the shaman and you're good.
Okay, got it. we got you, Ryan. All right. But you can't get to him because he's got chaff. Oh, wait a minute. No, he doesn't. All right.
He doesn't need chaff when he runs you over.
Now, this list I like.
This is possibly it's a silly list. And there's one big issue with it, but I really like it.
Laugh at this list. I like this list a lot.
There's one big issue with it.
So Crown of the Cavern King and the Crown of Autocracy. He's wearing these.
He has a lot of hats on.
I like that.
He's wearing all the hats.
He's got every hat he can find.
He needs a model modeled with like 5 hats on.
Feral Orc BSB. All right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shamans on chariots. So one of those guys has to take the hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bottom guys.
Oh, and there's a mistake here that I just realized I missed.
What's that?
That Goblin King is on a Cave Nasher.
Yes, he was. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's another thing I did not like.
That's the big issue with this list.
Because he can be shot easy.
Mm-hmm.
That Nasher's large, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And there's nothing to hide behind at all, is there?
Chariots?
Good point.
Oh no, he's large. Yeah, he can hide behind chariots as long as they're not on a hill.
Yeah. 2 units of 40 forest goblins, 47 orcs, 2 units of 40 nashers. I guess this is going to be his chaff, the grotlings.
They're not bad. They scout and vanguard.
They do. Okay. They're not fast enough.
Yeah. I would like to see the 2x10 Nashers replaced with some, fast cav of some sort.
Yep.
And I would like to see that cave goblin guy on a Nasher go into the orc unit with some solid defense.
Can he join an orc unit if he's insignificant?
Well, just turn him into an orc chief with, Destiny's Call and paired weapons or something like that.
Right.
And he can do almost as well. I mean, you could put him in a forest goblin unit, just a little bunker behind. I don't know. The big weakness of this list is that Cave Nasher dies. But I love the shamans on chariots.
This is fantastic. So, anyway, that's a fun list. Sanchez, Iron Orc Warlord. I don't like Iron Orcs. They cost too much. Yeoman does 4 armor.
This is my round 1 opponent.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Feral Shaman, Master
I believe beat 2 ETC players at the last little tournament, or at least beat Chris Mintz.
So this is kind of interesting because I'm seeing a lot of this shamanism, 4 shamanism, 2 witchcraft spells.
Which it's good.
It's
really
solid.
Nice mix.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I love these guys. Those guys pack a
Oh,
lot of
I love those guys too. You should have taken 5 of them.
You can only do 3.
Damn it.
But what else? 29 ferals, Ed Bashers, Stabber. I'm not a big fan of the Stabber. What monster is going to let you charge it?
I think it's just its D3 impacts for 25 points.
Right. It's really good against monsters, but again, anyway.
When you just ambush people with the wah. Here they come.
Relentless Company. So he goes 15 and unleashes the Gits.
Yeah.
Okay. Gangsters.
Some gangsters, yeah. 24 gangsters.
24 gangsters. It's a little small for a combat unit of Nashers.
Mm.
He probably runs them 8x3, I'd guess.
Feral mounted. Yeah, I'm thinking. Feral mounted Ed Bashers.
I mean, for 155, that's not a bad little unit.
Can't panic.
Their armor's 5 up.
5 up, 6 up. They get a strength 6 on the charge, right?
4, 5, 6. Yeah. Actually,
155
because they get on the charge they get an extra attack. So
what?
It's not bad, man.
mounted ferals get +1 attack on the charge.
+1 attack.
Devastating charge, +1 attack.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got that going for him.
Yeah, I mean that's a good unit for 155.
It is. He's keeping it cheap, so I like it.
Yeah, Gene, you need to be running some of these.
I don't like them because they go off too much. You can't control the maximized roll on that feral is just bad.
Are they a 7?
They're 8s because they're the Ed Basher version.
I don't want to hear you complain about maximize on an 8 when I'm taking maximized on a 5.
But I don't know what's wrong with you. that's your problem, not
Those
mine.
plague disciples just go all over the place.
Well, that doesn't matter because they just wreck whatever they run into. And it's 9 anyway because the demon guy's around.
Shh.
Yeah, okay. All right. And I've never been a fan of that guy, the Great Green Idol.
No, I'm not a fan of him either.
Although he does, to Ryan's point earlier, it's a way to not have a BSB in your points, in your character points.
Although I don't know that he's maxed out on his characters. No, I mean you could take a little goblin with the crown of the crown for like 210 points. It's nothing.
He's pretty close. He's like 1,500 out of 16. So actually, you got 1,800. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. The
2 get launchers without overseers. Not a fan of that either.
No, mainly because they make it tall.
Transcription error. I don't know that I was looking for that because that's the problem when you're transcribing from these army builder things.
I can tell they don't have them because they're 185.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because part of the problem is I need to remember to look for certain upgrades.
Correct.
And the other problem is I'm like, in some entries, I'm like, wait, are shields standard or do I have to pay for shields? I don't remember if this is upgrade or standard.
Yes, that's a problem.
All right.
So it's an interesting list.
I think there's a big issue with this, and Joe might know what it is, and Gene, you might. Look at the unit commands.
There's no musicians.
9?
Yeah. Not 1.
Oh.
He also only has 3 scoring units.
Ferals, cave goblins, and ferals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Just lost a few points.
But that Iron Orc guy with the Omen is scary.
Yeah, he's scary, but if you roll a 1 or 2, not that bad. It's not reliable enough. I don't like it. Anyway. And he's got no ward save.
He's a one of
rollable.
I don't care. He's got no ward. He's got no special saves. And he gets hit by one of your toxic attacks. What's he doing?
Taking a wound.
Exactly. I don't like a guy without a ward save, without some kind of special save. Because for cheaper, you bump him down to a feral, and you've got to deal with the frenzy, but you all of a sudden now gain battle focus with this.
It's true. It's a good point.
And you gain a 5-up ward. You put the mithril plate on him instead of the dusk forged armor, and he's got a He's a 2-up. Anyway, whatever. Done with that. Silva. Now, see, these guys have the Overseers because they're 205.
Mm.
Iron Orc Warlord is Generals on a Wyvern. I don't like that.
Especially with the crown.
That guy's 1,100 points if you kill him.
Yeah.
Um,
Wyverns have what, 4 wounds?
Yep.
Yee. So he's a 2-up, 5-up with 4 wounds for 1,100 points.
I do.
Late
James did
shield.
go back to the BSB.
What's that?
James was playing without a BSB for a while. He did go back to the
Oh, he
BSB.
went back to taking him. Well, he used to run the Gargantua. I mean, the whatever, the Great Green Idol. Zap and Bow, I'm not a big fan. A Master of Witchcraft, I do like that, but I
do
don't
too.
like a Master on a Chariot.
Yeah, the chariot's not great for that witch doctor. What?
Yeah, I don't like that he's a master on it.
Yeah, he's a target. You're gonna
Yeah,
kill him.
it's like, oh, I know what I can kill. Hmm.
Oh wait, he's even more. He's a Master of Thaumaturgy Pyro, and there's another Master of Witchcraft on foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh. The characters are so fighty. Anyway, goblins.
I know James likes that unit of 3 chariots. He should just stick the
He
witch
loves that
doctor
unit.
on.
He's gonna have to put him in here.
He'll sit him directly behind and try to just get cover, I bet.
I'll hide behind him.
Oh, and I bet you these Git launchers have overseers.
They do. They're 205. They definitely do. All right. I'm not a fan of this list. Phil Blake's playing him round 1, so I think he's going to take a good-sized loss in round 1.
Hmm.
All right.
So your picks, you want to call it? You want to call it after the orcs? And we'll pick it back up with the ogres.
Sounds. I guess. How far are we down?
Looks like we're halfway. Looking at
you're
your
right
scroller
about-
there.
Halfway. 14 of 28 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Nothing.
So Orcs and Goblins. What do we got? I'm going to go Nate because I don't think people are going to know how to deal with him.
That's what I was thinking too. Nate Allison's probably my pick.
I like Reich's list.
With the 5 chariots.
Yeah, I although I know Sanchez is a very good player, and actually, so this is sneaky. I'm gonna go Silva because I know he's gonna get a really good paint score.
All right.
But we're not doing this on pure battle.
Oh, are we?
We should be.
Okay. In that case, but so we're not doing who goes up to win the best in race award. We're doing who's the best battle.
Best. Well,
it's a good point.
That's tricky.
Best in race. So
best. We said best in race to start. So you're going Silva with the paint score.
I'm going Silva. I think the paint score carries him. I mean, James is not a bad player at all, and those Goblin chariots wreck things. And honestly, I think James will. He's been to 2 ETCs. He's a good player. I know he's a little rusty this year, but he's got the paint score. James brings it home.
Well, I mean, if anybody with any shooting is going to shoot off at least one of these on the way before it gets to you. I mean, they're tough 4 with 4 wounds and a 5-up armor. They're going to get shot up.
It's not great.
Anyway. He's all yours.
I'm going Nate Allison just because he's been close the last couple of tournaments. So
he's been close, and like I said, it's a tough list to deal with, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can't pick Reich because that Goblin King on the Nasher.
No.
He's a 3-up armor.
Well, it's like you said about Nate's list: is kill the general.
Yeah,
he's just sticking his head up, asking to be killed on this guy.
Yeah, What's Reich's first name?
Matt.
No idea.
Matt, take him off the Nasher, and then you have a lovely list.
Yeah, if he wasn't on an Asher, definitely think more about it. Because the Cave Nasher is a large beast. So, yeah, I mean, he's got absolutely nobody to hide behind except the scrap wagons, I guess.
The chariots.
And the chariots. That's true. There's a wall of chariots in front of him.
He just puts them all into one unit.
They join each other.
A 5 chariot unit.
Now that would be funny. That would be impressive. And you gotta, when you shoot at them, you gotta spread the wounds out among each one because they're all characters.
Yep.
Now there's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do it, Gene.
That's tempting, isn't it?
Oh, and then you take one normal boar chariot to add in there as well.
Why?
Because they can join to it. You get another chariot. 6
Just because
chariot
you
units.
can. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
max
show-
cowboys. Start taking feral orc chiefs with paired weapons and a boar for 175 points. Take 3 of those. Take 3 cave nasher goblin chiefs and just push it forward, Gene. Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome to the big leagues. All right, guys. Well, that got us halfway through in what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Just under.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. So we'll try to get together and do this again and knock it out.
We certainly will.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep. Have a good night.
Oh, night.
All right.